Mark chapter 3, verses 13 to 19. Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, the brother of James, to whom he gave the name Boanerges, that is, sons of thunder, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddaeus, Simon the Cananite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him, and they went into a house. Today's text records the names of the 12 disciples. We can meet some of them in various parts of the Bible, but for others, we know nothing about them except their names. Peter, James, and John had a special and apparently closer relationship with Jesus than the rest of the 12. Among these three, Peter and John were more visible than James. However, James had the honor of being the first martyr among the disciples. Andrew was Peter's brother. He was the one who brought Peter to Jesus, but he wasn't part of the inner circle. We don't know anything about Matthew's life after he responded to Jesus' calling, except for a dinner he hosted, and the fact that he wrote one of the Gospels. The rest of the disciples, it is the only tradition that tells us they worked in various parts of the world, and they were all martyred. This fact tells us that there are more invisible sacrifices than visible ones. Much sweat and effort is not recognized and take place away from the spotlight. Service to the Lord out of the spotlight is also precious. And God sees and knows everything. And there's one person who, though counted as a disciple of Jesus, was not really one of them, Judas Iscariot. We should not be discouraged by people like Judas in our community. It's inevitable. When Jesus called the 12, they were mediocre or worse. Only the one disciple received a great compliment from Jesus, Bartholomew, also known as Nathanael. Of him, Jesus said, "Here truly is an Israelite, in whom there's no deceit." But the same could not be said of the rest of them. As a tax collector, Matthew loaded burdens onto his already exhausted countrymen. Peter was impetuous, impulsive, and unreliable. He seriously denied Jesus 3 times. John and James were hot-tempered and judgmental. Thomas was known as a man full of doubt. The 12 certainly were a mixed bag. However, there is one thing that we should not miss about them: the way they responded when Jesus called them. They took action immediately. They left everything right away and followed him. What does this tell us? Most importantly, we can deduce that they had a deep desire for the truth, a thirst that nothing could quench. Peter would later confess, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life." Yet after such a remarkable confession, Peter ended up disowning Jesus. Thankfully, his faith was restored, and he became one of the foundation stones on which the early church was built. Like Peter, we all fall and rise repeatedly. We all have weaknesses. But like Peter and other disciples, who knew that there was only one person who could quench their thirst, may we all choose to follow Jesus and work faithfully as his followers.